So thank you, Jonaee, for accepting our invitation today. And the floor is yours.
Hello, everybody. I wish you guys could talk back to me because I like a lot of interaction. So I am so excited to be here today. I just wanted to thank Latari for inviting me. I know that just the energy that we currently have in this space right now is awesome. And yeah, I'm just really excited to be here. So thank you. So yes, I'm Jonaee Coffey. All of those things are true that you read. And like Whitney said earlier, sometimes you hear things and you're like, wow, I did that. So it is really nice to just hear those things and know that I will continue to walk in those things and persevere. So with that said, perseverance is what I'm speaking on today. And I have so many thoughts about perseverance, the meaning of it, how we walk in it. But what I wanted to do was kind of just break down first the definition, yes. But then I wanted to kind of shift and talk about, I want to go a little bit deeper into what it is and how we're persevering. So we'll just jump right in. Perseverance is being persistent in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. Let me read that again. Being persistent is doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. So people are perseverant and they persevere in so many things. You can persevere in anything, good or bad. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. So perseverance requires that it's like a mindset. It's a certain mindset that you have of innate determination. It is natural in us to, at some point, persevere, to push. When we're in difficult situations, I don't know if you guys have heard of fight or flight, but it is innate and natural in us to push beyond our limitations, even in a state of fear or difficulty. Even when we're exercising, sometimes we have to continue to push forward, and we may not always like the way that it feels, but we push ourselves to do it. And so perseverance is definitely a mindset of innate determination. When we persevere, we open ourselves to producing strength, we produce courage, and oftentimes we produce patience in perseverance. Why patience? Well, oftentimes when we're in difficult situations, sometimes we're waiting on something that we really, really, really want to happen, and it's not happening. And so we have to find creative ways to produce money, to make certain things happen, even when it's not easy, right? So it's developing strength in us. It's developing a courage that goes beyond our fears. And it's also producing patience that we don't always ask God for, but he gives it to us anyway to teach us. The issue is that when we're in perseverance, we're coming to a space now as we are walking in our purpose and as we're praying and really trying to seek our next space, our next dimension. We're shifting from a space of persevering in dysfunction. Because oftentimes, like I said, persistence is doing something despite difficulty or delay. So sometimes we can persevere in dysfunction. We persevere with a certain mindset that is not necessarily a mindset that we should have, but because we've had to hustle, because we've had to be that single mom, because we've had to kind of pick up certain even bad habits, we are persevering with a certain distorted mindset that God really wants us to shift out of. And so sometimes we persevere with a distorted outlook. And at this point, when we persevere with a distorted outlook, we then start to attract people and situations on our journey that may not have come along the way if we persevered in a more positive outlook. So right now, I want you to kind of just ask yourself, what can I unlearn? What can be unlearned in me? Because I think that we get so caught up in our daily hustle and bustle, and we call that perseverance, right? Because again, it's doing something despite how hard life gets. So we're persevering, but what mindset, what outlook are we persevering in? Are we persevering in a mindset of poverty? Are we persevering in a mindset of, like Whitney was talking about, she was a solo person. So even in your persevering, do you make things harder on yourself if you refuse collaboration, if you refuse help? Because you were told, I got this, I'm a single mama, I don't care, nobody's had my back, I got this, I'm doing me. You begin to persevere, right? You're doing it, but you're making it harder on yourself because you're not open to the shift that God is requiring you to have and that mindset that he needs you to have to then persevere with a positive outlook on life, on business, on your children, all of it, because we're all mompreneurs here, right? And so we all have that prayer. We all get to that space. I can tell you right now that I'm definitely in a shift where 10 years ago, when I was, still married and raising my children and going through some difficult hardships, my perseverance was very much so tied to, I gotta hustle. I gotta do what I gotta do because he tripping and the family is talking about me and I'm too embarrassed or too prideful to ask for help. I gotta do this thing on my own. No matter how hard it gets, I'm going to achieve success, but I'm gonna do it with this mindset that ain't nobody got my back but me and Jesus. And what happens with that is, yes, although that may be true for a season, God doesn't want you to stay in that mindset. He wants you to shift your mindset to then, hey, I know you had to do that by yourself. I know that happened to you, but now I'm bringing healing your way. Now I'm bringing deliverance your way. Now I'm shifting you to a place where you now have a community of people who do want to genuinely help you. I'm shifting you to a place where I even want your business mindset to change. How you do business, you're no longer solo. Even if you are a solopreneur, you still need systems. You still need somebody backing the things that you cannot do, the things that will help you save time. And so as we move forward, right, persevere, as we are persistent, as we declare even in our walk that we will never let up, that we will never give up, that we're going to give our children the best lives that they will ever have. As we declare those things, even in our walk, we've got to think about how we are walking. How are we moving forward? What mindset, what can we unlearn? What can we dump? Let's do a self-assessment as mompreneurs, right? As sisters, right? This sisterhood that we're building. Let's do a self-assessment and really think about some of the toxic ideas, traits, or things that outlooks that we may have. Let's just take a moment and think about just a few. Maybe you could jot down just 3 or note them in your mind of whatever you believe could be toxic. And it's not that you're a toxic person. It's just that circumstances happen. Stuff happens in our lives that cause us to have to produce, no matter what, no matter who's there, no matter who's not there, we have to produce. But if we get into a mindset of perseverance that says, I need community, I desire it, which is what we're doing today. We're building community. I desire resources. I desire to tap into those resources so that I can understand how to more effectively walk in perseverance, how to more efficiently walk in perseverance. Do I have a schedule? Instead of me just winging it day to day, do I have a schedule that says, okay, at 6 a.m., I'm going to wake up and give myself some me time and just meditate? Or maybe that might be 4 a.m. for certain people, right? But there's a discipline that's being produced in our perseverance, right? There's a patience, there's courage, there's strength. So now we're being disciplined in a new way of perseverance. So what does that schedule look like for you? At 4 a.m., I get up, I open my eyes, I go to the restroom, I make myself a smoothie or some tea, I sit down, I meditate, just giving God and yourself time to recalibrate your thoughts, right? I'm planning out my week. I'm putting myself on a strict enough schedule because I understand that even me as a mom of 4 kids, I had to stay up late last night just to clean my house because what I noticed was in clutter, I can't produce. It is very difficult for me to persevere in clutter, right? So now we're starting to look at what will help us persevere in a more positive light. Is it your workspace? Is it what I recently adopted last week? I started taking the kids to the park. I went to Five Below, a little dollar store, got them some sketch pads, and we all went to the park and we just started drawing what we saw. And then I allowed them the space to go and play. And for me, it was helping me to reconnect with me. So now I'm no longer persevering in this space of I'm tired. Oh, I got to get up and do this. But now I'm persevering in purpose. I'm persevering with a new mindset that, you know what? Now I have a plan. Perseverance the right way requires a plan. And when we have that plan finally put in place, whatever the plan looks like, your plan may not look like her plan, and her plan may not look like this person's plan. But everybody's plan is specific to their particular lives, their children, their family, their spouses, whatever it is, their business. Your plan is tailored to your lifestyle according to God's will for your life. You pray about that thing and then you execute. And once you execute, you'll start to see there might still be some difficulty, but you don't mind it now. You don't feel so stressed anymore because you know that you're doing it in purpose with a plan. So let's do that. Let's persevere with a plan. Let's persevere in purpose. And I'm opening up for questions, comments, and concerns.